John, how we doing?
We're good, we're good. It's good to be back.
Our Mustang, we got her back to California. Now it's time to make some tweaks and tunes for SEMA. You know, I think today with what we're doing, a little bit of electrical, not the sexiest.
No, but you know, stuff that needs to be done.
Right. And you know, the other thing is, you know, you're telling me when you were driving it, kind of had some rattling from the trunk, and
Yeah.
I think we came up with a solution for that today.
Good, good.
A little
Might
bit of
involve some sound editing.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, I'm always impressed with how this stuff is able to conform.
It's kind of wild, right?
Yeah, because you wouldn't think so. Yeah, you can really hear the difference. That's better.
Yeah.
And this didn't even take that long.
No, it wasn't bad. This is definitely something that you can order from Amazon. You can do it at your own house. Really, all you need is some type of vacuum. Make sure you get all the gunk out, rubbing alcohol, microfiber.
Exactly.
And then it's just the tools to install it.
As you know, on Power Tour West, we had a little bit of an issue with our brake lights.
Right.
What we're working with here is like basically 4 different wiring harnesses. You've got the Ford ECM,
Yep.
a aftermarket wiring harness that's for this car,
Right.
but kind of for a carbureted version
Yep,
of this
yep,
car,
yep.
right? And then we've got the transmission controller,
Yeah.
which is its own thing.
Yeah, the TCM, right?
Yes, and then also the gauges. The gauges have their
Their
own
own deal as
their
well.
own wiring harness. I think there's just something that is in one of those circuits right there that we need to figure out and get that secured.
Yeah, so I think what we'll end up doing is we're going to take this and we'll mount this ECM, right? We'll put that up here so that we have a little bit of space. That way it's out of the way. And then this is our actual controller with, you know, everything we need to know. So we can have this actually like that.
Wiring trips a lot of people up. It's definitely a skill, and it takes a lot of time and patience. It's kind of a formula for problems if you're sloppy or in a hurry, or things can go wrong. There's just a lot of connections to make. One of our issues was the brake lights weren't working consistently, and things like that tend to be a simple fix. A connection that isn't made properly, a termination in a connector that wasn't made properly, a bad ground, and you just got to get in there and start checking the entire circuit. So we needed to check all that stuff, figured out there was a loose connection, fixed that, and now we got brake lights that work.
Let's see if we got brakes, John.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
On.
Yep, we got brakes, baby.
Good. Off.
Let's cycle. Let's do it again.
On.
Yep, we got brake lights.
All right, good.
Well, now that we got our brake light working, got our trunk dynamatted.
Yeah?
I know we were getting a lot of vibration sound from the trunk. I'm almost thinking, like, do we try and see if we're getting the same feedback from the trunk? I don't know. I mean,
By doing a burnout out in the street, just to see.
are you sure? I mean, all right, I'll do a burnout just because you said it, okay? You're really twisting my arm here, but okay, we'll do it just for science.
That sounds good. Steve, I think Amazon sent us a Uniden radar detector
They did.
to install for our road trip.
Or
And,
burnouts?
For burnouts, because that way we know the coast is clear outside, right?
All right, here, I'll jump in with you. Let's hook it up.
Steve, I think last time I had a radar detector in my car was in high school. So
Well,
that was a long time ago too, by the way. But it did keep me from getting a few tickets.
yeah, see?
That's what I told my parents.
That's a cool little deal, too.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. We're ready to do some burnouts?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We did a nice burnout out there in the street.
It felt good, but now I kind of see what you're talking about, where it falls a little bit flat. I mean, it still does burnouts.
Sure.
Not denying that.
Sure.
But I think we definitely need a tune on this bad boy.
There's a little bit of hesitation right when you open the throttle. Doing what we did was one thing, but like trying to like
Jump
creep
on
along in traffic,
Yeah.
that would become annoying.
Our next phase will be getting it ready for an even crazier burn,
Yeah.
but making sure it's properly tuned.
Yes.
So we have our 1967 Pure Power Pony Fastback Mustang here at Full Throttle Customs. You know, we need to get a tune on it. We also need to have it dynoed. Spoke to the owner, and you know what? He was like, I remember this car from Week to Wicked. The tune was actually only about 70% complete, which kind of makes sense that it's fallen a little bit flat on its face because it's throwing some errors and codes. As you can see on the computer, they're working on the tune right now actively. Hopefully within the next day, we're gonna have this thing ready for SEMA, and we will have it in Vegas on Monday. So, you know, fingers crossed. And this is gonna be a really fun driver once it's properly tuned. John, we're here, we're at SEMA. How are we feeling?
Oh, this is so exciting. We got our 67 Mustang here on display at the MotorTrend booth.
I gotta ask, when you drove her in, did you feel a little bit more power?
The engine does run, so you could tell, like just off idle, giving it a little bit of throttle, much different. So you guys must have done something to the car since I last saw it.
We did. So we did a full tune on it, ran through the dyno. So it was actually in limp mode, which is why we were getting all of our codes. Now that we've gone through it, we picked up about 50 horsepower.
Oh boy.
So we've gone from mid threes to about 500, and I think we're about 468 foot-pounds of torque.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun when it goes back to the MotorTrend headquarters.
Oh,
I'm not responsible for it, okay?
Now you did your part.
I'm not responsible for it.
We made it here. I'm happy we made it here. I think we should go check out some of the other cars here at the show because there's a lot I haven't seen yet.
Let me tell you something. Don't tempt me with a good time. You know, this is a really cool build, 67 Mustang. The whole thing was really to showcase that anyone can build a car like this, and you can utilize someone like Amazon to get all the parts and components to do this at your own home. We got brand new radiator from Amazon, the cover for the Gen 3 Coyote engine. We also went through Dorman, we got our linkage. We also then went through Uniden where we had our carburetor, DNA motoring, our exhaust, our seats. You know, NOCO, our charger, 303 and stable, our detailer.
That's right.
You know, then obviously we had Pennzoil Shell over here, and that's how we even ran this thing. From front to back, we've worked with the best, and that's why we're getting such an amazing performing car.
It is super cool to have a car at the SEMA show. I don't own anything. This is nice. So to be part of a project and see it here on display under the lights, it's really special.
SEMA's been great. I've had a blast. But till next time, I mean, I'll be back next year with something crazier.